Namaste everyone. I'm Ramya Shri. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. Shri Narendra Modi ji has sworn in as Prime Minister of our country for consecutive third term. Recently, general elections were declared and NDA government is back into power. In this video, I'll make analysis and predictions for based on oath-taking ceremony of Shri Narendra Modi as Prime Minister of our country for consecutive third term.
On 9th of June 2024, when Shri Narendra Modi ji took oath as Prime Minister again for the third consecutive term, it was Punarvasu Nakshatra. We all know that Shri Narendra Modi ji is born in Anuradha Nakshatra, Vrishchik Rashi, and for Anuradha Nakshatra, Punarvasu Nakshatra will be Atimitra Tara. That is, it is one of the best nakshatras for Shri Narendra Modi ji. So, as per Tara Bala, the nakshatra is very favorable for Shri Narendra Modi. And on 9th of June 2024, we have the Tithi of Jyeshta Masa Shukla Paksha Tritiya, which also is a good Tithi. Tritiya is always a Jaya Tithi, and Jaya Tithi are always ruled by Mars, that is Mangal. So from the Tithi perspective as well, it is a good Tithi. Even though moon doesn't have that amount of Paksha Bala, but moon is in Punarvasu Nakshatra Karka Rashi, that is its own house, and hence there is a Sthana Bala for moon, as well as from the Kalpurush Kundli perspective, moon is in the 4th house. So that's a good one. And also from Shri Narendra Modi ji's Kundli, that is from Vrishchik Rashi, moon is in the 9th house. So this is a good or pleasant transit is what we can mention. And also considering the swearing ceremony Lagna was Scorpio or Vrishchik Lagna. So Vrishchik Lagna is also the Janma Lagna for Shri Narendra Modi ji, and hence it is naturally favorable for Shri Narendra Modi ji. Usually Janma Lagna is not preferred, but when we don't have any other prosperous or a favorable Lagna, then we actually recommend Scorpio Lagna. But from mundane perspective, for oath-taking ceremony, Scorpio Lagna is also suitable. So Vrishchik Lagna or Scorpio Lagna oath-taking ceremony is definitely a suitable one and also a favorable one for the government. So from the Panchang perspective, today was that is on 9th of June was a very good day to take the oath as the Prime Minister for Shri Narendra Modi ji. Next, coming to the planetary placements, as you can see on the screen, Lagna Lord is Mars and he is in the 6th house and it is in Moola Trikona, and being in Moola Trikona, that is 6th house, is also aspecting its own Rashi, that is Lagna. So Mars being in another Rashi of himself, that is a Moola Trikona Rashi, which gives a very good strength for Mars. So it is always mentioned a planet gets a very good strength when it is exalted or when it is in Mool Trikona or when it is in own sign. So now Mars being in Mool Trikona, it is in a very good strength. So the Lagna Lord of both Shri Narendra Modi ji as well as the oath taking ceremony time is at a very good strength. Even though it is in a Trik Bhava like 6th house, it is definitely good because 6th house represents struggle, fight, quarrel as well. So Mars being a malefic planet and also Karaka for 6th house will do very well here. So whatever challenges the government will face during this time, they'll be able to give a right answer to the opposition and they'll be victorious in it. So I won't say that it would be a cakewalk, but it would be a very difficult path also for them to walk in, but they will be strong enough mentally and physically to drive the journey. So Lagna Lord Mars in the 6th house will aspect Lagna and is in Mool Trikona. So Lagna as well as 6th house both are well protected. So we can say that any kind of challenges the government or the Shri Narendra Modi ji will face during this time, it will be handled very well from him and also he will be victorious over the time. Lagna has multiple benefic aspects. In the 7th house from Vrishchik Lagna in Vrishab Rashi, we have planets Sun, Jupiter, Venus as well as Mercury. Sun in the 7th house is a good transit because 10th Lord Sun in the 7th house is a very good transit. It brings the government very near to the public as well as it improves in the public image of the government as well. Also, considering that Sun, which is the Karaka for the ruling government, is along with multiple benefics like Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury. This also gives immense support to the Sun. Sun and Venus are within 1 degree, and to just remind all my viewers, Venus is the Lagna Lord for the Vrishab Lagna. That is, for our country's India independence chart, Venus, Shukra becomes the Lagna Lord. So Lagna Lord is completely in combustion with Sun, which is the ruling government. So Sun and Venus within 1 degree. So all the energy of Venus is with Sun, and Sun is taking the complete role here. So the ruling government will have complete power as well as will have complete authority as well. So this may not seem to be true from a broader perspective, as it is a coalition government, but over the time we will see that the government will be having complete powers to enact and to bring out any kind of regulations as they wish. Next, coming to the coalition government perspective itself, because after a long time we have a coalition government, even though it was NDA government every time. This is the first time compared to the last two terms, Bharatiya Janata Party is not in complete majority. So even though they have formed a coalition government, I can see that Lagna Lord, that is Mars, as well as 7th Lord Venus are in their respective own houses. Lagna Lord Mars has little bit of higher strength because it is in its Mool Trikon, even though aspected by Saturn, Shani, and 7th Lord Venus is its in own house in the 7th house and is deeply combusted by Sun. So even though the 7th Lord is in the own house and is deeply combusted by Sun, actually, it indicates that even though there is a lot of demand from the coalition government, the alliances or the allies of them, there would be a complete independence as well as point where the government will be able to take their own major decision. So even though the things may not look in complete favor at times, but the government will be able to enact righteously and also will be able to execute the duties in a proper manner. So whatever the kind of problems which will occur in future also, that will be able to manage. So the government will be able to manage them, and the coalition government will sustain over the time. And the 7th Lord, which is deeply combusted in the 7th house, it is in its own house. Okay, but it is with the 10th Lord Sun, so that's a very important planet. And the Lagna Lord, that is Mars, is more stronger than the 8th Lord Mercury, because Mercury is also combusted by Sun and Lagna Lord Mars is in a very good strength. So hence, because the 8th Lord is not that great than the Lagna Lord, this is also a plus point for the ruling government, that is for the Prime Minister of a country. Fourth house is having the 4th Lord in itself. So I can say that this shows a very strong opposition who will try to influence the Lagna Lord and also will try to bring them down, because the 4th Lord Saturn in the 4th house is aspecting the 6th house, that is the Lagna Lord Mars, and will try to set up a lot of challenges to the government, because now seeing that they are in very good number in the parliament also, there will be a lot of challenges which the current ruling government, especially the Prime Minister of our country, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has to face time in time, and they have to face a very fierce opposition right now, because Saturn, Shani Dev is completely in full mood and also full power and authority also. From 30th of June, planet Saturn will be retrograde, and that's when the opposition will start throwing their tantrums. So Lagna Lord Mars, being the commander-in-chief in the planetary system, will be able to manage Saturn, because Saturn gets debilitated in Mars Rashi and Mars gets exalted in Saturn's Rashi. So it is not that difficult for Mars to handle the Saturn, but the opposition will not spare even one day by not troubling the ruling government. There will be a lot of allegations, there will be a lot of valid accusations also from opposition. So I am not blaming the opposition here. Sometimes even the public will also accept the accusations and allegations pointed out by opposition. So now we will see that the democracy will be in the right way also, because when we have a ruling government, we should also have an opposition who is in good strength. and then only we can see some major good works also happening in the country. So now we'll see the opposition also in full mood, and they also will actually voice for the public. So we'll see a lot of drastic changes also at the opposition side. Then comes there will be fourth house is like throne or Simhasana. So because it is with the time the stability in the coalition government will improve. So the ruling government will take some time to settle down, because it's not like an independent government like the last two times, and hence with the time the stability improves among the coalition government in NDA. And there will always be a sense of ambiguity and problems in Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the parliament. So there will be a lot of discussions of passing the bill in Lok Sabha, and then when it goes to Rajya Sabha, there will be some hindrances. So it is advised to manage with the right time and the right direction. That would help the government. And parliament will function really well during this time, because from the moon's Rashi, that is Cancer Rashi, in the 11th house, so many benefits are placed. So 11th house represents the functioning of parliament in mundane, and there could be some new set of bills also introduced. So the third lord in the 11th house, which is fulfillment of many legislation changes, as well as many of the literary or any kind of documentation procedures, everything. So all these things would actually now start actioning in this time period. Also, moon is aspected by Mars from the 10th house. So this is forming a Ruchak Mahapurush Yoga right now. So we can see that the government will be fearless, courageous, and also will be very strict and stern, and will make certain decisions which would be very much applaudable, and which would be very aggressive in nature as well. There will be highly speculative financial markets in India, and there will be a frequent amount of volatility as well, and hence there will be no stability in markets, and investors might lose and as well as gain a good amount of money also during this time period, because from the Vrishchik Lagna, the oath taking ceremony Lagna, Rahu Ketu is in 511 axis. So it could be a time that if you are intelligent enough to grasp the market mood and sentiments, you can definitely make loads of money. But if you are not that smart enough to gauge the mood and sentiments of the people, then definitely this might be a very adverse situation for you. So that's one thing very much noted for the financial market perspective. Then this time we will witness some high international relations with the big nations actually. Foreign trade and relations will improve, because we have so many benefits in the 7th house. So we might actually see that a lot of foreign trade, commerce, and any kind of foreign relations which were not doing much well before, that also will start doing well right now. And this will be with the big nations itself, that is with the higher economically stabilized nations is with India will deal with, and they will have a very good standing, social standing across the world, and India will be respected very highly during this time. And not just that, because from moon, that is from the Janma Rashi moon, that is of India's independence chart also, all the planets, all the benefits are in 11th house, that is in 511 axis. So this would be a very good time period for India also, for wide range of recognition. And Shri Narendra Modi ji as well as the vice president also would be applauded for their good action or the swift actions. So both president and vice presidents will be applauded for their swift actions of the governance also during this time period. Next, armed forces. Lagna Lord is in the 6th house and is the Karaka for armed forces. So this time armed forces will prove to be brutal and highly successful also. And after 12th of June, Mercury, Venus and Sun will move to Gemini, and after this time period we may witness some major changes in the working style of NDA government as well. But also at this time period, the NDA government should be a bit cautious about their alliance also, because there could be some difference of opinion between the allies, and because it's forming now with TDP as well as with JDU. So for after 12th of June, because Mercury, Venus and Sun moves to the 8th house from Narendra Modi ji's Lagna, it can even cause some amount of failure also, or a setback also for him. But wishing good luck to him that it doesn't happen, because now with Saturn in the fourth house, in the fourth lord, being very stern and very strict, actually, we just hope that there is stability in the throne of the government. So I just hope that there is no multiple prime ministers like the way we had in 30 years ago when Saturn was in Aquarius. Hoping that it will not happen. And because of the planetary transit suddenly to there, we can see a change in shift of the mood of people as well. So a drastic changes would be seen within the party of Bharatiya Janata Party, because Bharatiya Janata Party is a Gemini Lagna, and so many planets coming to their Lagna also will give them a good amount of courage and strong nature also. But because it's the benefics in the 8th house, we can expect some good things as well from this. So some innovation, or from launching of some new schemes, or some new undertakings, public undertakings also could be expected, because Sun represents the public undertakings, and Mercury, Venus will be transiting with Sun after 12th of June. So first Venus goes, then Mercury, and also next Sun by 15th of June. So Mercury's Rashi Gemini sign will have all the three planets. The lord of the Gemini sign, that is Mercury, as well as Sun, as well as Venus. So all the three planets in Gemini will definitely will bring a lot of changes. Considering that Venus in Gemini has never been a good result for the whole country as per the historic times. So Venus in Gemini has never been good. So we may witness some unpleasant event also, or the demise of a very old leader as well. That also could be expected, and it could be a female also. Then coming to the Simhasana chakra, which I had mentioned in the start of my video, because Simhasana chakra is very, very important when we are analyzing the oath taking ceremony chart. So you can see on the screen now the Simhasana chakra, which we represent in three ways: Ashwapati, Narapati, and Gajapati. So in the olden times, based on the kind of cavalry, the kind of human resources, as well as the elephantry, we had segregated into three ways. So we can consider through the Simhasana chakra the strength of the government also, or how well they will flourish over a time as well. So this Simhasana chakra is very, very important in analyzing the stability of the government, as well as in the future of how the country will function as well. So do listen to this. This might be something new for you. So I'm straight away bringing it from the mundane perspective. So we can see that moon is in Punarvasu nakshatra, and it falls in the Pata Nadi. So to just brief about the Simhasan chakra to my viewers, we have 5 nadis here. Adhar nadi being the lowermost nadi, then Asan nadi, then Pata nadi, then Simha nadi, and the final one would be the top layer, the cream layer will be the Simhasan nadi. So in this, Adhar nadi will be the lowest one, and the Simhasan and Simha nadi will be the highest one. So any planets placed in Simhasan nadi or Simha nadi will be very auspicious and will actually prove to be the strength of the government as well. So depending upon the characteristics of the planets, we will detail out the predictions. So moon being very prominent planet, moon who is in Punarvasu nakshatra, it will fall in the Pata nadi. So moon in the Pata nadi is actually not a good one, because moon, if it is in Pata nadi, it will give limited power to the king or for the authorities. So for the government authorities, there will be limited power, and for each and everything they might have to seek the permission or the approval from their allies as well. So with the time to time, these kind of developments may happen, and without asking, they will not be able to perform certain, or they will be not able to undertake certain measures. But because moon is with Saturn and Jupiter in the Pata nadi, they'll have a good strength from their within their party, as well as from some of their allies. And also because of Saturn there will be a lot of questions raised within their own alliance, and that's why they will find it bit strugglesome to answer and then get it proceeded further. So most of the activities which the government want to introduce or want to bring into action might get little bit slow, and that might cause bit of hindrances to the government. But because Jupiter is also with Moon and Saturn in the Pathanadi, so we can assume and we can predict that even though it could be a bit of delay, it will come at the right time, and it will come very swiftly as well. So it will definitely throw up a lot of challenges, and a lot of questions has to be answered within the alliances, not even with opposition. With alliances only they have to answer a lot, but along with that they will be able to justify for their each and every action also. So because Moon is in Pathanadi, we can't assume the government to function very smoothly over the time. There will be challenges and there will be hindrances, which they will handle it wisely over the time because of Jupiter's presence also there. Next, coming to Saturn. Saturn is in Benefic Nakshatra, which is a Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, which is Jupiter's Nakshatra. And there is a Gemini aspect of Cancer Rashi and as well as the Aries Rashi. That is Cancer Rashi where Moon is placed, as well as Aries Rashi, which is where Mars is placed. So both Moon from Karka Rashi and Mars from Mesh Rashi is aspecting the Shani in Aquarius, Kumbha Rashi through Gemini aspect, and Sun and Venus are in Simhasana Nadi. Sun, who is the Karaka for ruling government, and Venus, who is the Lagna Lord of India independence chart. So both of them are in Simhasana Nadi. This is good for our government and for all the overall functioning of the government, and for the smooth handling also, this would be very good. But Sun and Venus are enemies to each other, and they placed in a Simhasana Nadi can actually bring some internal fights also at times, and also with the allies, but they will be able to manage it successfully because in the Pathanadi, Jupiter and Moon is present, and also Mercury is also present in the Simhanadi. So intellectually as well as wisely, if they are able to handle them, then definitely this coalition government will be able to sustain for a longer period of time. Mercury is also in Simhanadi, which is, as I mentioned, Mercury represents trade, commerce, scientific organizations, trains, communication, and this time period, all these fields will flourish. Because Mercury being in Simhanadi, this is a very good transit time, and also Mercury very soon will be moving to the second house of India independence only, and it is its own Rashi also, and that's why we can see that a lot of improvement in the education as well as the finance field will be expected. So both education and finance portfolios will be of a main importance during this time period. And Venus also represents enacting the just and righteous laws. So we can even see many righteous laws will be passed in this tenure of NDA government. Also, if war takes place as well, because in the Lagna of in the oath taking ceremony chart, Lagna Lord Mars is in the 6th house. So definitely it will indicate some kind of war and disputes, and 7th house has too many benefits also, so which we cannot rule out that there will be no war, because if it was only one benefit, definitely I could have agreed and I would have told that there will be no war, it will be completely peace. But because of three multiple benefits, we can expect a war also to happen during this time period. But even if a war happens, the Karaka for victory in war, that is Venus, is in Simhasana Nadi, and also the Mars is in Adhar Nadi. So armed forces will be very highly courageous and very brutal also, and they will bring the glory and victory to a country. Value of currency in circulation, controls over judges, jury, courts and law, all these things are also represented by Venus, and we will see all these things getting happened also. As I mentioned in the Muhurta Kundli, that is Sun combusting Venus incomplete, and it is within 1 degree. Sun doesn't participate in the planetary war, and hence I didn't mention the planetary war concept between Sun and Venus, because there is no planetary war happening between Sun and Venus, because Sun doesn't participate in any kind of wars. But if it was any other planet with Venus, then definitely there could have been a war. But Sun Venus being so close, we can predict that the government will have complete authority and complete control on the judges, jury, courts of law, as well as the value of currency in circulation. So there could be some major changes or some major modifications in the currency wise also. because when demonetization happened in November 2016, at that time Venus was not in good condition. Venus was debilitated. So that was one of the fatal time period for 500 and 1000 nodes to get banned also. And Venus is the Lagna lord for the India's Kundli as well. Now coming to the other significations of Venus, Venus also represents hotel, fashion, sports, art and music industry as well, the whole entertainment industry, because hotel management is represented by Venus. So all this field also will flourish very well during this time period. And silk business is also represented by Venus. So this also will have greater promotion or the push for the betterment also in our country. And the precious metals, sun represents gold, silver and all the precious metals, and all this will be at all time high, because Venus represents silver and also moon also represents silver, and sun and Jupiter represents gold. So considering the current time period, gold and silver prices will be at all time high because both the planets are doing very well. So this would be the time period that even the markets also wouldn't be in that stable nature, because everything is going up and even inflation is shooting up also, because Saturn, who is the karaka for causing these kind of problems, is also very well placed, and he is the yoga karaka for Lagna. So he will also show his malefic nature which he has to, but because he is the yoga karaka for India's independence Lagna, we will even see certain amount of relief from the government. Certain measures also would be taken. So there has been a lot of complaints from the public for the finance ministry as well as the way things are handled in the inflation wise. But in this tenure, in the upcoming years, we might even witness some changes in the finance ministry as well as in the some certain financial policies as well, economic policies as well, and a lot might actually improve in the next 5-year tenure. So let's hope that Sri Narendra Modi ji led NDA government be successful for another term, and let's hope that the government will bring the glory to a nation again in this tenure time. I hope you like my analysis and my predictions. Please do like, comment and share the video among your friends and family circle. If you like the video and if you like my videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and also please press the bell icon to receive instant notifications. So this was all about oath taking ceremony and the Simhasana Chakra, that is the future predictions for the NDA government which has formed just now. So I hope they complete the full term in full stability and bring glory to a nation. So until we meet again, thank you and have a good day.